What's happening, everyone? I'm Jordan, and this is Front Run Tech. And are the markets back bullish? Is the bull market back on? We've got a lot of the war fears subsiding here, and we're going to look at the markets, and there has definitely been some important developments here. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's start off here with the apex asset, Bitcoin, on the 8-hour chart. And you can see Bitcoin has had a very impressive recovery here, pretty much coming off the back of the war fears really dying down, at least for now. If you've realized anything about these modern times, that can change very quickly. So just because the markets have kind of gotten shaken off some of that war fear right now, don't get too comfortable with that. Things can change very quickly, as we've seen. But for now, Bitcoin has put in an impressive recovery here. Um, it basically came down and tested 100K, which is really nice. It even, of course, dipped below 100K. It dipped down to around 98,300 on a wick, and 100K is now support. That is bullish, right? It continues to remain in this descending parallel channel of consolidation. This is bullish consolidation. The key thing is what we talked about in the last video, this spot right here, the bottom of that channel, that also coincided exactly with this horizontal level of support. Bitcoin held right there and kept the channel intact. So Bitcoin still looks good for now. It was able to then rally aggressively back above this next horizontal level, which was important because it had the breakdown here, this previous low, and after that breakdown it had come back up to that horizontal level and got rejected, was looking to come back down, and then it shot back up. So that is a good sign of the bullish momentum coming back. And where we are currently is that Bitcoin actually got a breakout of this short-term downtrend. You can see, boom, the perfect retest on the red candle, back testing that breakout, a perfect test and hold, and now you get the resumption upwards, which is a clean break retest and resumption of the breakout. So that looks pretty good for now. And what we really want to see now is we want to see Bitcoin get above this important horizontal level here. That's kind of right around that 100,000, 107,500 range. We really want to see Bitcoin get up to like 108, start holding candles there, flip that to support probably. But of course, the main thing that we're looking for, if we kind of zoom out, is Bitcoin to eventually break bullish out of the top resistance of this channel and resume into the next leg of a bull market run. All right. But Bitcoin has put in a local bottom for now, and it's looking good. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the daily chart for Bitcoin and see if we can see anything a little different there. This is the Bitcoin daily chart. Not too much difference. Holding that bottom of the channel. It's now into this horizontal level of resistance on the daily, which actually coincides with all this price action over here where the previous all-time highs were being set. And that major level of resistance, that's where Bitcoin's right in the middle of now on the daily. So again, same thing. We want to see 108K. We want to see daily closes at 108K. And then we can start thinking about breaking out of this bullish consolidation, this channel. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stock market here. Take a look at the S&P. Get this off log. The stock market as well. Really bouncing strong, taking out the previous high. So, you know, those war fears subsiding has just shot the markets back up. They're right back continuing their bullish structure now. You can actually see, do you see that the bottom right here? was perfectly a test of this high over here. So even with the war fear, the market's just holding bullish structure, and at this point, the S&P is ready to test all-time highs. All right, so that's the next level. The only thing stopping it would be the previous all-time high around 6150 or so. So the S&P looks good. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Same thing. Wait a second. The NASDAQ might have set an all-time high here. Let's go ahead and make sure. Did the NASDAQ set an all-time high today? It might have just barely set a new all-time high today. If not, it basically touched the previous all-time high. So again, just this is an insane move. This recovery, now this is what you call a V-shaped recovery, all right? And those are extremely bullish. This means likely the NASDAQ and the stock market are ready to move into another impulse up of this bull market. All right. Now, of course, we can get some crazy news. We can get war fears coming back, war escalation. Anything can happen in the markets, so we'll stay on our toes. But it's looking really good for now. Let's take a look at some other things here. Let's go ahead and take a look at, we need to look at gold, because gold is also telling us something here too. So the gold 8-hour chart, the CFDs, gold did finally go ahead and have a pretty aggressive breakdown of this horizontal level that we were watching. We talked about the initial breakdown from this first ascending trend line, and that was a initial sign that the momentum was not where it should have been, coming off of this breakout right here from the channel consolidation, right? Gold had the breakout, it had the retest right here. Now it should have been able to go into a more sustained upwards move. The breakdown of the trend line here told us that the momentum was not strong on this breakout. Of course, it ended up catching itself at this horizontal level, but then it just retested that breakdown, confirmed it, and we were saying, if you get the breakdown of this horizontal level, then definitely look for further downside on gold. And now that we've gotten that, we are of course going to be focused on a test of the main trend line that gold has been testing. So I do believe that it's likely that gold does go ahead and come down here and test right there. And that's going to be a very important test for gold right at the main trend line. That's where I've been adding gold. I've been adding on all these dips to the trend line, right? Especially this last one. As far as recently, I mean, I've been adding gold for a while, but so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. So we'll see what happens with gold, and if it does end up coming down here, all right? But gold is definitely in some more short-term bearish momentum at the moment, and this breakout is definitely losing juice. So, which this is also coinciding with risk on in the other markets, so it makes sense, all right? And we have something important to look at here on the DXY. Now, when we were looking at the DXY a few days ago, the DXY was on a pretty important breakout here, breaking out from this downtrend that's been going since the beginning of February, right? And you can see here that the DXY just absolutely imploded back down. It failed on this breakout attempt, so this is a failed breakout. It's back below this trend line, and it's now trying to catch itself at this same horizontal support. But these failed breakouts are pretty bearish, so you would kind of expect that the DXY might be looking to go ahead and set new lows here, which again, this is just bullish for risk markets, and this is kind of just more of the same of why you're seeing risk markets doing well. So we'll see what happens. Let's look at what happens here. If the DXY were to lose this horizontal level, you can see that's kind of a key. It's kind of like a last level. We could be looking at kind of a 95 to 94 range DXY potentially if the DXY does lose this horizontal level it's at now. So we'll see. All right. Now, yeah, we could take a look at silver. Silver's kind of still holding good compared to gold. You know, gold had its run, silver kind of lagged. Now silver's kind of taking the spotlight. Silver is more risk on. Maybe silver can continue to do well. If you remember, we talked about that back test on the weekly chart, which I still think is probably coming. This is silver on the weekly, back into this zone. A pullback all the way back into this zone for silver on the weekly would be extremely bullish and expected so long as it holds there. So we might have some more time on silver to kind of wait it out and let the bullish breakout play out. All right. So yeah, that's what's going on with the markets for now. We've got some nice bullishness going on. We've got some breakouts and stock market looking at all-time highs. Bitcoin looking at a breakout, looking to keep pushing up. So hopefully it holds. Hopefully we don't get any more war fear and war escalation to really dump the markets, but anything could happen. All right. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, and we will see what's going on with the markets next time. All right. See you guys.